get started. Hello and welcome to Derp Derp channel.
Hi, I have the itis. I just ate food, so I'm kind of tired. But I am also a person named Ski Nerd. That's my name. That's what it is.
And
Nailed it.
we're gonna do our weekly videos from last week. Because I don't even remember. It was too late on Saturday, and I didn't have internet for most of. Or plus, I would have been interrupted Saturday because we were in the middle of a big storm.
Yep.
Lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, just tornado warnings and stuff. That's all.
There was a total of 5 that touched down that night. I heard,
Oh, cool.
and all throughout our state.
Nice. All right.
And and I wasn't feeling it yesterday. Like internet was working when I got home, but I was just I just wanted to lay down.
Cool. All right, let's get into it. We're going to be reviewing that one movie with the cabin, and it's in a forest.
The woods.
Oh, it's in the woods. My bad. Well, it starts off with a bunch of teenagers wanting to go into the woods. We got Thor in there. He's the only relevant character with
Uh,
anything
yeah,
of
yeah.
the
Chris
well
Hemsworth.
of the teenagers.
Um, I'm just checking to see if anybody else is in anything of relevancy. But you can continue.
Anyways, there's these five teenagers and Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor. He's like, "Hey, my cousin got this cabin in the woods, and we're all gonna go party up there." And so they all go there, and by the way, before we move on, there is a whore, there is an athlete, there is a scholar, a fool, and a virgin. These are all the stereotypical characters you see in any movie, but the fool that's with them is pretty great. I think that's
Best character in the whole movie.
is that the guy?
Yeah, yeah, Marty.
Cool.
Best character in the whole movie.
And anyways, they go to this. They start their journey, get into this big RV, and they're like, "Let's go." And they go to get gas, and there's this weird, creepy dude, and he calls the girl Thor's girlfriend a whore in front of everyone, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" And so they get some gas, and he's like, "You wherever you're going, you're probably gonna need some gas to leave." And they're all like weirded out by this guy. He's like really weird. Um, but they go to this cabin, and one really weird thing that they find out right away is that there is a two-way mirror. And so the nerd guy is looking at the virgin. He's just like, "Oh shit, she's changing. She can't see me." All right, I guess I'll stop watching her undress. Okay, cool. Moving on.
After seeing her bra.
Yeah. And then they're all sitting around getting drunk and having fun, and then all of a sudden a random uh, basement door
Yep.
pops open, a floor door, and they're all like, "What is that? That's weird. Let's go see what's down there." And oh, they're playing truth or dare or whatever. Um, and they send one person down there, and she's like, "Oh my god, there's so much stuff." And there's like a book. There's a what do they call it? A conch. There's
There's
a
one of those
doll
almost unsolvable puzzles
puzzle thing.
that like really hard to solve puzzles.
All these like different things, and then this
Journal or
this
diary.
this woman reads the diary, starts reading the diary, and the voice whispers to her, "Read the diary." And the fool, the super high guy, is like, "Whoa, whoa, we shouldn't be reading nothing. Don't read that."
The voice of reason.
And she reads the Latin part out loud, and as soon as she reads the Latin part out loud, zombies come up out of the ground, and then it basically cuts to, um, if you've seen, what is that called? 40, no, not 40-Year-Old Virgin. Step Brothers. The dad from Step
Yep.
Brothers, and the Weasley guy from uh, that Adam Sandler movie, Billy Madison.
Yep.
They're both they're both like, "Hey, someone who won the bet? Who won the bet?" And you're like, "What's going on here?"
Periodically through the movie, or before that, we do see them periodically.
Yeah, I know. Um, but anyways, these two guys, they're like, "Oh, who won the pool? Who won the pool?" And there's like a bunch of people going groaning and stuff like that. But one group, maintenance crew, they finally win the bet, and whatever that bet was, I don't know, it was a lot of money. And you're like, what is happening? Why are these people cheering for? And why are there cameras in this house? We found out that there people are with cameras are watching them, and they're like, we have to do this. We do this every year, blah blah blah, kind of thing. And so, anyways, the dad from Step Brothers and the Weasel guy from Bailey Madison are the ones that are in charge of this thing, and they're like, "All right, now we can get this day started. All right, time to get some blood sacrifices." And you're like, "Why do they need blood sacrifice? This doesn't make any sense." And it turns out that they do this thing every year. They get some uh, teenagers, some young people, to go to this cabin, and they try to kill them with different creatures. And so one of the guy from Billy Madison is like, "Oh man, I wish it was the merman." He's rooting for this merman. He was so close to blowing the on the conch, but it was, what was it? It was like zombie redneck zombies. No,
Uh,
zombie redneck hick
uh,
undead people.
Torturers.
Oh, torture redneck
Family.
zombies, as opposed to regular zombies. Um, but that's so they have all these ancient items that call upon the dead when they're used. Uh,
Not just dead, just like the monster.
yeah, these monsters, and some are undead, some are just monsters. You know, you have
Werewolf.
werewolf, vampire.
Sawhead, which is a spoof of Pinhead from Hellraiser.
You have twins. You have
The ballerina girl.
yeah, the ballerina girl.
Werewolf.
There's an alien in there.
The
Zombies,
Wraith.
wraith, yeah. All these different creatures.
Giant snake.
Yeah, giant snake. I think there was like a straw man in there or something. Some weird.
Yeah, scarecrows.
Scarecrows. That's right. Um, all these different creatures, and only one gets summoned. That's why they made this pool. And you're like, why are they doing this? This doesn't make any sense. And they're praying to their like, evil gods. As soon as someone dies, they like a guy pulls down on a lever and blood is seeped into some sacrificial ritual chamber thing. So it's kind of strange. You're like, okay, why are they doing this? And then they shoot, and then they look at like Tokyo, and they're like look at Tokyo, and look at this place, and look at that place. So this is happening like all over the world on the same day. Um,
Essentially, every big country is trying to sacrifice teens to
or young people,
appease the gods.
because in the Japanese one, it's a
Yeah.
classroom of girls who are like 10 years old.
And in that one, we see the rain monster.
7 days monster. Um,
The Ringu is the Japanese.
hmm And those little girls were able to stop the beast from happening.
By turning it into a frog.
Yep. Now her soul's in the body of a frog. Yay! And all the girls survive. Anyways, um, as the night goes on, all these other countries are failing. Everything's fail, 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 fail. And they're not. The thing about this is that these people that are conducting this are not allowed to intervene. All they can do is push the people in the right direction.
Like with pheromones and
Yeah, so like the first one um,
the
is
horror.
is the whore and the athlete. So Thor and his girlfriend go out and start having sex in the woods, and pheromones are spread everywhere to entice them even more to have sex. And then she gets sawn in half by one of the redneck zombies. Um, and so she dies first, and then the fool dies eventually, and then they're all so the three people left. They're like, oh crap, we gotta escape. So Thor, he has a bike. He's like, I'm gonna jump this little gorge because the tunnel that they're trying to escape from, um,
Collapses.
it collapses, and so he tries to hop over this little gorge and to get help, but he crashes into an invisible barrier, and so he dies. And then the scholar, he gets killed in the RV when it's in the water. They try to back away in the RV, and then as they're driving, one of the zombies comes out, and so they're in the lake, and he gets killed, and so it's only the virgin left, and she's getting attacked, and while she's getting attacked, the people in Step Brothers' dad and the Weasel guy from uh, Billy Madison, they get a call from the people at the top saying, "Hold up, you can't have her die yet, because the virgin has to die last, according to this." Um, we learned that the fool actually didn't die; he survived his stab wound, and he found like a maintenance shaft, and he finds like an elevator. So for whatever reason, the virgin is able to escape from this zombie that's
Because the
killing
stoner
her.
comes and saves her.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. And after three people die, they all press these levers, and these are blood sacrifices, and they're all celebrating like, yeah, we did it, we're awesome. And after it's revealed that the fool is still alive, they're like, oh crap, the virgin can't die yet because the virgin has to die last, or doesn't have to die. It's an option for the
She
virgin.
just needs to feel pain or get tortured.
Yeah, and she's definitely getting tortured. Um, but the fool finds a maintenance shaft, and he's like, "This is our way to escape." And she's like, "All right." So they go down, and as they go down, they see a bunch of like cages with like monsters in them. So they see the what was that from the movie Pinhead guy,
Sawhead is like a
Sawhead.
spoof of Pinhead.
Yeah, and then they see this ballerina girl with like a giant just mouth on her, just a demon thing. They see a wraith. Um, and then they see a bunch of like other creatures in cages and stuff, and they're like, "What is happening here?" And so it looks like they keep these monsters down, and they explain it like through the movie, which is actually really fascinating. That they have to sacrifice someone. Oh yeah, if you there it is. There's a list. All right, let's go through the list really quick. Werewolf, alien beast, mutants, wraiths, zombies, reptilian,
Reptilius.
reptilius, clowns, witches, sexy witches, ooh, demons, hell lord, aka Lord of Bondage and Pain. Okay, Angry molesting tree.
From the Evil Dead movies.
There you go. Giant snake. What is that? Deadites?
Yeah.
Deadite. I don't know what
They're
that is.
the Evil Dead monsters.
Oh, okay. Deadites. Kevin. Who the hell is Kevin?
We don't know. He's unseen.
Mummy, the Bride, the Scarecrow folk, Snowman, Dragon Bat, Vampires, Dismemberment Goblins, Sugar Plum Fairy, Merman, the Reanimated, Unicorn. That unicorn would be interesting.
We did see the unicorn.
I know, but if they summon the unicorn, that would have been interesting. The Huron, which I don't know what that is. That's a lake, by the way. It's one of the Great Lakes. That's right, kids. Stay in school. Sasquatch, Wendigo, Yeti, Dolls, the Doctor, Zombie Redneck Torture Family, the Buckner family, which is what we got. Jack O'Lantern, Giant, and Twins. So those are the monsters that they have, and apparently different countries have different kinds of monsters because we didn't get the Japanese one, the Ring Girl or whatever.
And then there's some other ones that.
Oh my God, there's other ones. Okay.
That it also showed, but we.
Our creatures seen
Or
during
these
the
are
purge.
the ones, yeah.
The
When everybody's
ones.
attacking.
Ancient ones. Boomer, Left for Dead. The Witch. Okay, those are all Left for Dead creatures. Unicorn, Giant Ape. The Kraken, Reaver, Dogs, the Blob, the Evil Twins, Floating Head, Cyclops, Face Peeler, Giant Ant, Garden Gnome, the Creeping Shadow, Killer Birds, Balding Menace, Giant Deers, what the hell? Phantom, Giant Woman, okay, Ferrets, Killer Toad, Ku Klux, oh my God, they got the KKK, okay, I can see that. Giant cat, insects, killer tarantula, plant creature, scorpion robot.
Tarp Man.
We saw scorpion robot.
Yeah.
Tarp Man. The suffocators, Cthulhu creature, the savage with the hatchet. How could you escape Cthulhu? Man, that's just an automatic win. Owls, floating leech, two-headed monster, troll, giant lizard, giant alligator, giant centipede, slimy horned cloak creature, and Kiko, aka Japanese floaty girl.
Or the Ringu girl.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think most of these on this list were like when it just pans out to all the boxes. We may have seen some of them.
I'm sure if you pause the movie, people are like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that?" But anyways, so they go down in the system, and these guys they're panicking, and they finally find the correct elevator where they're at, and they're like, "All right, we gotta send soldiers towards them," and they're somehow able to escape these soldiers, and they find a little box, it looks like a maintenance box, where there's a giant button that says purge, and as they're being shot at by like 12 soldiers, with machine guns, of course, they press this button to purge, and you think it would like set fire to the place. No. Purge means releasing all the creatures at once. Why would you do this? I don't know, but they have a giant button for that. And so basically now we see more of the creatures, and they're attacking all the guards and stuff. And then they're able to escape, and then we eventually see Sigourney Weaver, and she explains to them what's happening. There's these things called the Ancient Ones, and for years and years and years, these Ancient Ones ruled over the Earth. But slowly humanity was able to take control of these creatures, and in order to keep these creatures away from everyone and just literally killing everyone on Earth, damning their souls for eternity, they have to make some kind of sacrifice, and they have to do it in a certain order and stuff like that. And if they fail, the Ancient Ones come back and everyone dies. So basically, Sigourney Weaver dies, and then
werewolf comes and bites the virgin.
Yeah. and she's about to shoot the stoner dude, and he's able to survive, and she's able to survive. And they're like, "Oh, I can't kill you anymore," and so the world ends.
With a giant hand coming out.
But there's the ancient ones are down below them, by the way, so they don't. They have to make the sacrifice on this particular day before the sun comes up. So, um, yeah, that's the movie. And was it good? Yes. Was I surprised? Yes. Would I watch it again? Probably. And that's a good sign. I give it a 4.2 out of 5. It's not like the best movie, but it's one of those movies that's like a nice surprise where you don't expect it to be good. You just see Cabin in the Woods. Oh, it's just another standard horror movie.
Which
But
it starts out that way until they go to the basement.
yeah, and then it's just a huge plot twist that you do not see coming, and like also the entire time, like the stepdad from Step Brothers, or the dad from Step Brothers, and the guy from, I was blanking on, Billy Madison. They're they're just a hoot, like together on screen. They're going back and forth. They're just having fun with this. They're like, yeah, whatever. F you, screw you, you're dumb. Well, what's the bet gonna be? Who you betting on this year? Um, and of course, there's like a new guy. He's a guard, and he has no idea what's happening, and he sees everybody in the entire um, establishment uh, betting, and he's just like, "Why are they betting on these people dying?" They're like, "Oh, it's just one of those things. I mean, they're gonna die anyway, so might as well do it." Kind of thing, and uh, just their back and forth that they have, especially at the beginning, and it starts out funny, and then it gets serious, and then even more serious.
Well, once you
And
start realizing that this is actually not like a, or it's a serious horror movie and not just like a whimsical.
yeah, because I thought at the beginning that they were spying on them just to get like content, be like they're like, oh, it's a reality show, like where we get to spy on these people like making out and having sex and doing drugs and stuff like that. It's for entertainment for people, but no, they're sending creatures towards them, and
To
with
sacrifice.
different and they have their god that they pray to, the demon god or whatever, and they're all like in on it, and it's just like they're making it like a regular day at work kind of thing. So and they're in charge for a reason, and you see the stepdad or the dad from Step Brothers, and when the cave doesn't collapse, he knows what to do. He's just like, fucking Christ. So he runs down to um, I don't. It's not maintenance. It's like the repair bay or whatever. And he's just like, why isn't this? Why didn't this collapse? And they're like, we didn't get an order for to collapse it. And he's just like, God damn it, son of a bitch. So he just like hot wires a thing and forces the rocks to come down as they're about to escape, but then they can't escape. And so he's basically at that moment he saves the day um, for them. Um, but and you see oh why he's in charge. Oh yeah, because he's a badass. But
There's a
yeah, it's
whole
really fun.
scene where they're talking to the guy from the gas station or the two office workers, and they're just making fun of him.
Oh right, right,
Where he's like talking
yeah.
about the end of days and
He's speaking in like tongues and biblical things. It's just like, yes, this is the end of days, and the whore and the athlete will be sacrificed for our God, and it will shall eternally live. And he's just like, am I in speakerphone? And they're like, and he's just like, no, you're not on speakerphone. No, absolutely not. And then he keeps talking. He's like, wait a minute, I am on speakerphone. Well, this is kind of before the whole Marvel thing, where everything they try to make everything funny. So this kind of like worked at the time. now I like when like a serious movie like makes jokes and makes fun of itself, but now they kind of overdo it. I think I've talked about this before,
Yep.
but now they overdo it where like literally every single scene they have to make a funny, otherwise it just won't go on. But the thing about that is why it worked before is because the vast majority of, especially like superhero movies, everything was serious, and um, throwing in a quick little jab like Spider-Man or Deadpool or the Guardians of the Galaxy, those worked because it was new and fresh. But now everybody's doing it, and it kind of doesn't work as effectively. I mean, it is a little fun, but at the same time, it's just like, people around you are dying or whatever, and you make a little quick little joke. Um, anyways, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But anyways, good movie. 4.2 out of 5. What do you think?
This was like my second or third time watching it, and I'd probably give it like a 4.5.
Hmm. Okay, cool.
So, and since this is a holiday weekend, I don't know if and when we're gonna get a movie in, um, because I don't know when I work yet. It's his choice.
Yeah, if we do watch I have I have an idea in mind it's not a movie, it's like an episode of something. It is an episode of Black Mirror. So it's only like 40, 45 minutes. It's not that long. It's like 2 episodes of Conan, the Barbarian.
And that was our movie review. We'll see when we do it next. It's up in there. Now let's get the podcast over with, since I already have everything up.
Yeah.
Hey, hello and welcome to Basement Dwellers Podcast, where we do give out any nerdy news. We'll start off with the movies. Since, like I mentioned, it's a holiday weekend, I don't know if we'll even get a podcast out. So I'll do movies for this last week and this coming week.
Hey, it's that show that came out. What was it called again? Squid Games. We can talk about that if you want. So I
But
finished it.
let's do the movies first.
Did you finish it?
Yep.
Oh,
First of all, this last week we have Formula One or F1 starring Brad Pitt
okay. Brad Pitt.
about racing.
I'm gonna go in a race car and turn left.
I have no desire to see it. Along with this one, Megan 2.0.
It looks hilarious.
It looks
I'm not gonna
horrible.
lie. It looks so funny.
It looks as bad
like-
as the first one did.
It looks hilarious because I think they're trying to make it a serious movie, but it's not.
Well, if you want to watch and review the first two, we can. I have no desire, but if you want to watch and review it,
Hey, how about if we get 100 likes on this video, then we'll watch them both.
then we have Afternoons of Solitude, a documentary about a matador.
Oh wow.
Hot Milk.
Hot milk.
I questioned what this was about, and I could not figure out what exactly it was about.
It looks like lesbians.
That's what I figured too.
The milk is so hot.
Then we have
Hottest of
Ice
milk.
Road Vengeance.
Ice Road.
Surprise, surprise, a new Liam Neeson movie. He's in way too much
He has a
nowadays.
particular set of skills where he can climb mountains.
It looks
Oh
like this is a sequel to
no.
one I actually liked that was a Netflix only movie originally.
He's also doing that Naked Gun
Yep.
movie. It's gonna be so bad. Like,
Up, realizing that this was a sequel to the one that came out like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I'll probably watch this because I actually like that one. Then we have In the Mood for Love,
in the mood for love.
Anniversary,
Looks lame. All right.
In Vitro,
In vitro. Oh, a woman with a gun in the
Eerie
desert.
Animal Experience. Experiments.
Okay. They're called gremlins, and she needs to shoot them to survive.
Uh, My Mom, Jane.
Oh,
That looks like a horror movie just by that picture.
looks so bad. Oh, that's for the chick from Law and Order. Special Victims Unit.
Documentary about Jane Mansfield.
Never heard of her.
Please Don't Feed the Children.
Why are they gonna? Oh, it's because when you feed them, like they fart and it smells really bad. That's probably what it is.
This looks like a horror movie. In a world where a pandemic has decimated the adult population of the planet, a group of orphans cross the U.S. in search of a new life. During their journey, they unexpectedly fall prey to a bloodthirsty woman with a hidden and horrifying past. Doesn't sound too terrible. And we have Pony Boy.
With boy spelled B-O-I. That's so weird.
Uh, I don't. If I were to watch this, I'd only see it because of Dylan O'Brien. Then we have Sorry Baby. Another A24 movie.
They're just pumping out movies. Jesus.
And The Sound, which is a rock climbing supernatural horror movie.
Yeah, it's about a group of deaf people that go rock climbing. And when you know it, they can't hear the sound.
I mean, it's stealing Pulp Fiction.
What?
Follows a group of enterprising wannabes and their eccentric therapist as they concoct a plot to steal Quentin Tarantino's personal 35mm print of his famous 1994 film from his movie theater. What begins as a simple heist quickly spirals into a chaotic misadventure filled with unexpected twists and mishaps. Kind of sounds like that movie Fanboys, where the group of Star Wars nerds breaks into Lucas or Skywalker Ranch to try to find or to steal the unreleased.
Episode 1.
Yep.
So they can't because their friend is dying, right?
Yep.
He's gonna die. And now I see one of the worst movies of all time.
And that was last week, or this last week, this coming week, we had Jurassic World Rebirth. It doesn't look good. Then we have 40 Acres, which was the last mystery movie I went to a couple weeks ago. It's essentially a post-apocalyptic world where a plague kills off all the animals, and so everybody's surviving without meat. And it's a family that lives on a farm surviving, and then they encounter a group of cannibals. They have to fight off against them.
Cool. That sounds like fun.
It was actually a pretty good movie.
A great blast.
And then we have Dora in the Search for Sol Dorado.
Oh, good.
Then we have Heads of State, starring John Cena and Idris Elba.
That one chick from that show. What's it called? Quantico.
Then we have Kill the Jockey. Which I assume it's about horse racing.
No.
Then we have The Old Guard 2. Never saw the first one. And then we have Video Heaven, which is a documentary about VHS video shops, or a movie about it. Yeah, documentary. And we also have re-release of This Is Spinal Tap. And then Thursday, July 10th, we have Brick, which is about people trapped in an apartment with that all the doors have bricks or brick wall preventing them from leaving. And also the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Cool.
You go ahead with.
Alright, cool. So, sports. Basketball's done. Thank God. Hockey's done. Thank God. And now all there is baseball. And it's almost the All-Star break. Not much news on baseball, but football is coming up in September. So excited for that. Um, what was I watching? Oh, I wanted to start watching uh, the Call of Duty games like in order because I was kind of curious about it. And I'm watching Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It's really boring. Like every mission, they're just surrounded by a crap ton of guys, and you're like, okay, there's no way that they can survive this. But then you do, because it's a video game, it's not real life. So that's boring. What I wanted to actually want to talk about was this game called Shivers, which I watched probably about a year ago. But it's basically a game where um, there's this abandoned house or mansion, and you kind of break in and you discover that the owner of the mansion, who is said to have died or disappeared or whatever, he's actually trapped in a, what do they call it? Not a tiki, like a talisman. He's trapped in like a talisman, and he tells you, "Hey, I'm trapped in this talisman, and you gotta come like rescue me and save my museum." So he built this museum out of his house, and it had a lot of like weird ancient stuff. And one day, he was messing around with something, and these evil spirits escaped, and he got trapped in one of the items. And so basically, what you have to do is you have to go around solving clues and discovering things and fighting off the occasional spirit attack. Um, and you're solving puzzles and discovering some things that are true in the in history, and some things that are more of a not a spiritual thing, like a fantasy kind of thing, like ghosts and stuff, whatever. But it's a fun little thing, and you got to try to beat these like evil ghost spirits and try to solve it. And it was made in the '90s, so you have the full motion video of people on actors being in the game, being on screen, and it's kind of cool to see them act, and can be really bad at times, but it's kind of entertaining. It's good to see a walkthrough of it. So shivers, boom.
Hey, there only a little bit of anime news. I mentioned it slightly in our One Piece reaction. Uh, this Thursday, Netflix and Crunchyroll is gonna stream a new dub of Detective Conan. Uh,
With Cillian Murphy as Detective Conan.
with no announcement or anything to be found anywhere on who's gonna be the dub cast. I've tried looking multiple different places at different times in the last week. Can't find anything. But essentially, this first group of episodes that they're gonna release, it's not gonna be in order, but it seems like they're gonna call it Conan versus the Black Organization, which is the main villain. Uh, Case closed. So they're gonna release episodes that pertain to the Black Organization. And then also starting on the 12th, the TMS YouTube channel is going to start releasing a Detective Conan movie every week for 26 weeks.
Oh wow! Wow.
And
That's like 6 months.
I'm gonna watch every single one, or try to, because I've only seen a few of them. I'll probably not watch the ones I've already seen. Now take note of the ones that I think you should watch when we get to it in the anime. Then ones that you watch, meaning ones that I think you would like.
Mm-hmm.
Which I already know of one, the Fist of the Blue Sapphire. And probably the Darkest Nightmare too.
Because the green sapphire was already taken.
You haven't even met the Kaito Kid yet, and he's one of the main characters of the Blue Sapphire movie. So it'd be kind of pointless to show you now when you don't even know who he is. Other than you've seen my figure of him. He's the guy sitting in the chair.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully a good dub. We're gonna do, if I find the dub sufficient enough, when we get to the episodes that are dubbed, we're gonna switch to the dub, because Detective Conan is the Japanese is good. It's kind of hard to catch everything if you're just reading it. So the dub will make it easier to watch. Because then you don't miss what's going on above the subtitles. Because sometimes if you're reading, you'll miss what's actually going on.
Ooh.
And also this week, along with Detective Conan, Dawn to Dawn Season 2 comes out on Thursday. And also Sandman Season 2. I'll be watching both. And Dexter Resurrection comes out on the 11th, which I'm really looking forward to. He isn't. Because he stopped after the Trinity Killer.
Yep. I was told not to watch 5 through 8, only 1 through 4. So I adhered to this person's instructions, and I was like, okay, okay. Plane crashed here.
Or rereading what I already said, I was wrong. According to this, they're only going to release 3 of the movies. Darkest Nightmare, Zero the Enforcer, and Countdown to Heaven with new dub. And then they're gonna play the Black Iron Submarine on in the U.S. for the first time at Anime Expo. Please, Funimation, if somebody from your company watches this, please release Conan movies world nationwide and U.S. theaters. Please, I want to watch them actually on theater screen.
Nope.
Because there is a big fan base of Detective Conan. You don't see people wearing merchandise, but it's. And I think that's all I had for my news. So let's move on to the last part.
What's the last part?
Detective Conan.
Oh, right.
First of all, we start off with episode
1200?
47.
That was close.
The Sports Club Murder.
The Sports Club Murder.
It's the swimming one.
Oh, the diving guy?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That one was pretty simple. So basically, there's like a couple people arguing with the star diver, and there's also this woman too, and they're all like arguing with him, and he's being a giant asshole, and then the next day he's found dead, and we see him like diving, and we assume that he had an accident. That's what all the evidence was pointing to. However, when Conan went across the street, and because he went to question the witness that saw this person diving, he said, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I like to paint what I see, and I go out there at the same time every day, and I saw this person diving, and it was spectacular." And so you have the woman who's sleeping with one of the other divers,
And the owner of the club.
Yep, she's also the owner of the club. You have the guy who is sleeping with the owner of the club, and you have the guy who used to be on the team. He was the captain, but now he's a swimmer instead. And it turns out that the swimmer killed him, knocked him out, and he dove himself to make it look like the guy who died was diving. And he forgot that he has an earring on, and the painter got the shine of the earring in his painting, and also swimmer's cap. Divers don't wear swimming caps, but swimmers do, and so that was weird that he had that on him. So, open and shut case.
And on to 48, 49. the diplomat, or that was the wrong one. Diplomat murder case.
Oh, right. This is the two-parter. Um, Basically, in this one, Ron's dad is hired to um, investigate something. So come to this house, and the wife comes back, and he's like sleeping on his side.
On his desk, in his desk chair,
Yep. And
with his head propped up by his hand.
hmm and he is dead. And they're like, "Oh my God, he's dead!" And this is a unique one because you have Shinichi's rival come. He's like I forget what city that they're in.
He's
Something like the eastern.
Conan is from Bako, which is the west, and Heiji is from Kyoto, which is the east.
Okay. And so he comes and he's just like, "Hey, I hear Shinichi's here, but I'm gonna prove to him that he's not here or something." And
Prove
so,
that he's better than him, basically.
yeah. And so in this episode, Conan is sick, and this guy gives him alcohol. He gives a 60-year alcohol to get rid of his cold. And he's like, "Damn, that just made me worse." And in this episode, he actually turns into his former self,
Shinichi.
or he turns into his normal self, I should say. So Conan, the kid, turns into Shinichi, and he's there to solve the case, or at least help with it. And they find out that he had like keys in his pocket, and it was just like, "Oh my God, who had the keys? Whoa, this is so weird. How did you manage it?"
And it was also a locked room murder.
Yeah, there's a locked room, and he had these keys in his pocket, and the guy from the rival with the baseball cap,
Heiji.
Heiji, he explains that you can use a
Fishing
line to um, it was like an intricate thing. You can make it look like he had the keys in his pocket the whole time by pulling the. You can use a key to lock the door, and then use a fishing line to hook it up to the guy's pants, and you pull the fishing line, and you can put the key into his pocket. And that was like, they were like, "Oh my God, it was this old man who loves to fish in the house that did it." And turns out he was being framed. It was the the wife that did it, and as she went to check on his body, she like pricked him with poison to make it look like it was something else that killed him. Um, and she was able to put the keys in his pocket or whatever. Um, and she's able to figure this out. And turns out that she killed him because her daughter, who was adopted by this family, was gonna like marry someone else, or her daughter was gonna marry her stepson or something like that, and she didn't want to be part of that, so she had to kill him because this guy was an asshole, and he he killed her husband or drove him to kill himself, and then he took her as a wife. And as soon as she saw the picture of this girl that her stepson was going to marry, she was like, "Oh my God, my daughter's alive. Here's my daughter, and I can't have you come into this family. That'd be weird." So yeah, she killed him. And turns out that this alcohol that Shinichi or Conan drank turned him back into his old self, but it only lasted for a
Temporary.
little bit. And he tried to drink more at the professor's house, or the professor or doctor. I can't remember. He's professor.
Professor, yeah.
Professor. He was like, I'm gonna drink all this alcohol. Look at me go. I'm gonna turn my old self. He was like, oh, it looks like you built up an immunity to it. And he's like, oh man.
And that's the final scene. But this episode's big because it introduces Heiji, his main character, becomes main eventually. Heiji, or throughout the episodes, I may accidentally call him by his English name, which is Harley, because that's just how I learned. I learned his English name before his Japanese name, so it's engraved in my head. And Harley is a little easier to remember than Heiji. And it also introduces his dad, or it's Osaka, not Kyoto. He's from Osaka. His dad's the superintendent of the Osaka Police Department, and he shows up every once in a while as well. I specifically remembered these episodes because of the Shinichi, or it introducing Heiji, and also it introducing Shinichi being able to turn back to himself.
Yep, has to do with his heart. His heart grew 3 sizes that day.
So it's a pretty big episode because it introduces a major character and also it adds more mystery to the black organization or the drug that he was given. That was those 2 episodes. Next is the library murder case.
Oh, right. Library murder case. He's with all his stupid friends that he hates.
I agree, I hate them too. They're really annoying.
And yeah, they're also really stupid too. Like there's a certain point when they're like, all right, everybody left, so let's leave the lights off. But then like 2 seconds later, the girl turns on the lights and she's like, but I couldn't see. And he's just like, yeah, but there's people that are gonna see the lights turn on, stupid. And then of course they get attacked by this, by the guy. But there's like someone who died and they can't figure out who it is, what's happening, and they can't find the body either. They're like, oh, you just disappeared. That's weird. And so they go back in to look at these weird books, and it turns out there's drugs in these books. And long story short, the guy who died found out about the books and was gonna turn in the I think he was like the caretaker of the library, and so he killed him, and he put him on the elevator to hide the body, and so he just starts chasing after them, and at the very end they use the dominoes of bookshelves to trap the guy because they're all 6 years old. So, because he did it, because he was hiding drugs.
Kind of a straightforward case. And the last one that we're going to review, but we're going to go, in a little bit, go watch a few more, but not review it till later. The Gulf driving range case.
Oh, yeah. So this one, they're all at a driving range at like 6 in the morning, and Ron's dad is
terrible at golf.
Yeah, he's really bad.
And he was asked to be Yoko Okino's golf partner.
Yep. And so they're at this golf place, and these like four people come out, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're business people. We do business." And they come out, and this guy's hitting balls, and the brown noser gives him more balls, and all of a sudden, uh, he hits a ball, and it explodes, and it kills him. And so there's a guy who left to get coffee, and everybody suspected him because he left at the right time. Um, but it wasn't him. It was the youngest of the guys, and he hated the boss man because he stole a bunch of his ideas and claimed that he discovered these things. And so basically, he put an explosive device in the driver, and it exploded. It made it look like um, one of the balls had the explosive in it. So, see? Pull tabs. She won. How much did she win?
She won a free VIP ticket for
Oh.
a convention.
Lame. I'd rather win money. Anyways. Yeah, it was kind of a cool thing how this guy put in this explosive into the go up. Expectations towards season 3. After watching season 3.
We'll get into that after we finish this.
Yeah. So yeah, that mystery is solved. Cool.
Hey, since we have a little extra time until we can go down and watch Conan, let's just do a brief overview. We don't have to do the full video of Squid Game. Just reactions.
Yep.
And we're gonna do a quick just reaction of Squid Game season 3. We won't go into much detail. We'll do that later. Personally, I really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was better than season 2.
And
I liked it.
I especially really liked the ending because I found it pretty fitting to Gi-hoon's character.
Yep. I also, another point, this really upset me, but contestant 333 is fucking stupid. He is so dumb. Like the dumbest person I have ever met. Before killing the one, oh, spoilers by the way. There's gonna be spoilers. So if you don't like spoilers, then click away. Contestant 333, or sorry, player 333, kills player 100 during the second round, and he's the obviously like bad guy. Like, we're gonna kill him next. Why don't you wait till the next round? Like, are you stupid? And then in the third round, they don't press the button, so now 333 is dead, and Gi-hoon is just like, oh, well, I can't do anything because we already had our fight.
Well, he was trying to prevent 333 from killing the baby.
Well, I know.
So he wasn't focused on pressing the button.
I know, but at a certain point, the baby was sat down, and they were fighting over the pole. That's what it was, and they didn't get a chance to press the button because he was worried about being pushed off. So, yeah, 333 is a fucking, like, he's so dumb. Holy God. Like, I understand, like, them eventually killing the people that were, like, voting and stuff.
The corporate assholes.
Yeah, the 203, the big dude, like he got stabbed.
Yep.
Um, but then they try to do the lunchbox thing, and he just like jumps off, and he's just like, I'm not gonna be part of your stupid game. You guys can fight it out amongst yourselves. So he jumps off himself. Um,
Not anymore. Crawls off because he can't.
yeah,
He
true.
has a broken leg.
Yeah, well, jump, crawl, whatever.
But I this one actually made a lot. This Squid Game actually made a lot more sense than the first season. We had no idea how that game was played because we aren't from Korea. But
Oh,
this was a lot more straightforward.
well, they Americanized it.
Yeah.
After it was so popular.
And but other than that, we have for the games we have hide and seek,
Jump rope.
which hide and seek was the essentially the marble game from the first season.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be more like 50-50. Essentially, it was. It was a half and half thing, but it was. You don't choose a partner at first. You just choose a side, and you can switch if you want. And I was trying to think like beforehand, like what would be more advantageous. And I was thinking like having the knife would be more advantageous because you just have to find someone and kill them. But then watching how many hiding spots there were, not realizing that there's an exit, yes, but you didn't need to go to an exit. You just had to like survive X amount of time.
Depending on your vest.
Yeah. So if you're blue trying to escape, you can go to the exit, and or
But
you
you
could
need
evade
one of
the
each
people.
key.
Yeah, and they don't tell them that there's three different keys: triangle, square, and circle. And what was really sad in this one is like the 333 is like, I gotta protect my baby. Oh right, yeah, the baby being born. I didn't see that coming. And I like the fact how the baby is born in like 10 minutes. Like her water breaks, and the baby is born like 10 minutes later. Like, bruh, are you serious?
And
That doesn't happen. I'm sorry, that does not happen.
this game we see a bunch of like I said it's like the marble game. I meant it's where we see a lot of like the main people die.
Yeah, it's
Like,
the 50-50 game.
yeah, we see the Hyunju get stabbed by 333, the transgender girl.
Yeah, the guy who was trying to be a chick.
And then we have the shaman who is stabbed at the very end of it. Which
Oh yeah,
I was happy to see her die. She was fucking annoying.
I thought she was hilarious. She's just
It,
like, oh, I can see which way to go, and then she like opens that door, immediately exits,
and runs.
and runs away, and her followers are like looking around like what are you doing? And then there's two people in red vests that come out. Oh my god, that was so great.
But she eventually dies.
No, she eventually finds the exit because she's like, I'm a prophet. I know how to do this.
But
She even
then,
tricks,
but
even tricks
then
that one guy,
the corporate
the
asshole
100
tricks her.
player 100. She's just like, oh, I know where the exit is. You can follow me. He's like, where's the exit?
It's
And he tricks her.
Yeah.
Because she's stupid.
because Hyunju only relocked one of the locks.
Yeah, there's the exit door requires three different
But
keys.
he left two of them in.
Yeah, but she didn't.
She didn't realize it.
No, she got dragged back, and then he pulled a key out. He's like, oh fuck you, bitch, and he takes out a key, closes the door. And then the coward guy, eventually started taking drugs, and
Minsu.
yeah, I think he was 101 or something. I can't remember what number he was. 127. I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
Then the son of the mom and son
Oh,
tries to
right.
kill Junhee.
The the girl that just had the
Yep.
baby.
And
And
the mom kills her son
yeah,
to save the baby.
and then she's so distraught, she wants to end the games, but people wanted to continue, so she kills herself.
Then we have the jump rope game.
That was fun. They they made it so the baby was part of the game, and then this is where the VIPs come in.
Or also before that, right at the end of the hide and seek, we we see the VIPs going around and killing all the stragglers.
Oh, right.
But in my opinion, the VIPs in this one a lot more entertaining than the first
Yeah,
one.
the first one was just like, it was just they're all like old and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, blah blah blah. Well, I'm doing things. Oh, yeah.
I vote for 69 because that's my favorite number.
Oh my god, that joke is so old. Like it's so dumb. 69, 96. Anyways, um, that guy was dumb. Um, but yeah, in this one they had the guy who was able to come in. He was because he was drunk and he's like trying to flirt with the one woman who's there, and she's just like, God damn it, just shut the fuck up. He's like, oh, you are attractive. You know, you're more attractive when your mouth isn't moving. Oh, now your mouth is moving. Huh? Maybe you are a little attractive when your mouth is moving. Don't go. Then she goes off to have her fun with a random concubine, and
Or
he's
piece
like,
of furniture.
yeah, and he's like, oh, why don't you come have a drink with me instead? And she's like, nah. She says something in Mandarin. It's just like, I'd rather.
I only drink of furniture.
She's like, I'd rather have a drink with my bar stool than with you, or footstool or something. But he made a bet on 222, not realizing that his her ankle
Was
was
broken.
messed up.
Yeah.
And oh, okay, got it. Freeman, Dr. Wilhelm, Pullman, Hoffman, Huckman, Goodman, Jackman, Oldman, Rickman, Freeman, Dr. Wilhelm. Um, anyways, um, he made a bet on 222, not realize, and then it's the jump roping thing. He's like, crap, I'm gonna lose all this money. And then like she doesn't make it, but then they change the rules where the baby is now 222, and he's like, oh, I guess I'm still in the race, and 222 wins, but because the alarm was wrong, we don't see his reaction. I really wanted to see like his reaction to that, and a lot of their reactions just like, oh shit, that guy's the father. Oh man, this is better than any reality TV show. You know, their pompous attitudes and stuff like that, uh, which was pretty bad. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe they're dying. Wow. And they think all their motivation is money based, and that people only want to think about money because they're kind of projecting, and that they only think about money and stuff like that. It's like a contest that they didn't really want to be a part of. So
Say that's
but I liked I thought the best game was hide and seek game.
Yeah.
That was the best one. And then it was sad when the the guy who wanted to be a girl died. That was really sad.
especially when he actually has a chance to leave, because he's the one that opens the door first.
Could have gone through, but he didn't. He went back to get the baby and the old lady, um, and then he gets stabbed by 333 because he teams up with the other super high guy, and he at first he doesn't want to, but then they each kill a person, so they all both pass, and then the high guy is like, I don't keep killing more, then we can eliminate more people. have a better chance of winning. He's like, oh, okay. And so they go on a killing spree, and 100 pretends to be dead. But then uh, the guy wants to be a girl, whatever. I don't know. Remember his name.
Jian Ho
Jian Ho.
or something like
He
that.
he succumbs to 333, and then the girl who just had the baby sees this, and she's like, I don't trust you anymore. Why would I trust you? Like, you just killed my friend. Like, no. So yeah.
And there's a whole subplot, or because we had number 11 of the guards.
Oh right. She's trying to
Save
at
the.
the at the end of the person that she knows on the outside, she saved the guy's life at the very end. Um, the player 246 or something like that, and she says, "Close your eyes, trust me, or if you wanna live, you gotta trust me." And so she's able to put him in to have his organs donated or whatever, and she goes down. She pretends to be part of the group, and she kills them all, and forces one of the doctors to stitch him up, and they escape the island, and he's on a boat. He escapes. At the same time, you have the plot with the Captain Park,
Yep.
and the detective.
Which was the to me the biggest disappointment, because Jun Ho doesn't really. It doesn't amount to anything. Anything he does in the season.
Oh right. He's just trying. He's looking and looking. He can't find anything.
He spends 2 seasons looking for the island, and when he finally does it, he just sees his brother and then asks him, "Why are you doing this?" And then that's it. Kind of pointless.
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't have much of a choice because he was out in the arena, and how was he supposed to get there?
No, but still, it didn't really amount to much.
I know, but I thought he was gonna like chase him down and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm here to rescue you, son of a bitch." But that never happened because he had to get out of there. He had to escape before it exploded.
And there's the very last couple of scenes, it ties up like all the plot points. Um, like the girl from the first season, her brother that Gi-hoon's mom is taking care of, reunites with his father.
Oh, that's who that was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
I thought no, it was his mother, right?
yeah, his mother, and then
yeah,
Sabiak's brother.
Okay, got it.
And then reuniting with Sabiak's dad at the airport. Because he was in North Korea. They got him to come to South Korea.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then
yeah, I couldn't. For the life of me, I was just like, was it the guy who got second place in the first season? His son or something?
No.
Because I saw the mom, and I was just like, wait, who? What,
no, it was the guy from the first season's mom, and Sabiak's brother.
Okay, got it. I was really confused.
Because Gi-hoon's mom died in the first season.
Oh, forgot about that.
And then it cuts to the U.S., California.
Yeah.
Shows the front man going to Gi-hoon's daughter to give her money and reveal to her that her dad passed away.
Yeah, apparently that. And then the last scene is we see it's an American playing the jockey game with Kate Blanchett.
Yep. Revealing, we already knew it was revealed a while ago that there is going to be an American Squid Game.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. It's been this officially announced it, but everybody online already knew about it, basically.
Oh.
Cause it,
Everybody except for me, because whatever. And I was like, oh man, that's too bad. And there was like another thing on Netflix where they're talking to the director and the frontman and Ji-hoon, and only watched like 5 minutes of it, but they were just like joking like, oh, maybe we can get like a background of the frontman and see what happened with him. And the director was just like, well, hold on, we just finished this one. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Gotta take some time before I even think about what's happening with
there's
that.
a one other aspect, because before the whole Squid Game, there's the whole feast, and then Gihun is called by the front man and given a dagger and given the option to kill everybody, then you can get free because nobody, or as they're sleeping, because can't play the game with only two people.
3 people.
No, you said two. You need three people, but you can't play with only two. Because you're saying kill
I don't think.
everybody but the baby.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, because he had that one person on his side.
I which
The junkie.
which to me that feels, it's never revealed, but it's shown basically because that's what Junho, or the front man, had to do to win his game. It felt like a test. Like maybe if Gihoon did do it, the front man would have offered him like a officer position.
Yeah, probably. But he chose not to. He kept the knife. He just didn't kill anyone. He was about to kill the player 100.
Yeah, it just felt like a test. Like
Yeah.
he was gonna get a job offer if he did it.
Yeah.
Because it shows that Il Nam giving him the same option.
Yeah. And he did it. So then he was just like, yeah, you did what you need to survive. Become a manager in these games. Cause sink down to my level. No. Because he was in the same predicament. It was like all these people playing the same game too. Like all these people are against you. So this is your way to
Survive.
survive. But I like how the detective's friend, I forget his name, but
Mr. Choi.
Mr. Choi, he breaks into that house and he has this other guy. He's like, I want you to be lookout, and he falls asleep. Like, bruh. Oh my god, I would have punched him in the face as soon as I saw him. Like, you're gonna get punched in the face because you fell asleep. You had one job to do. You have one job. Look out, be a lookout, and he kills the dog, and he finds the pink suit and the money
Yeah.
in there.
And also a picture of him with the recruiter.
Yeah. But Kate Blanchett, huh? That did not look like Kate Blanchett. I'm not gonna lie.
To be honest, I have no idea who
That's what I recognize her, but then they were like, she's the woman from Titanic, um, but she had like her ponytail back, and I remember like there was like a promotion for some other. She was like a politician show that kept playing the ad. It's like, this is Kate Blanchett. I'm like, okay, cool, and then it showed her with the ponytail. I'm like, she looks familiar, and then they're like, it's Kate Blanchett, and I was like, that does not look like Kate Blanchett. But yeah, there it is. That does not look like Kate Blanchett. Not at all.
I'm not. I wouldn't show my Facebook on stream. So.
Oh, right.
And, I think that's it for. That would be our Squid Game review, basically.
Scroll up a little bit. Squid Game. Oh, it's phase. Oh my God, they're doing it. How many are they doing? Jesus.
I think.
Squid Game Winter 2026. Squid Game 1987. Squid Game USA Fall 2026. Spring 2027 Squid Game 2.8. What the hell does that mean? And then Squid Game World Winter 2028.
If anything, I think the 1987 would probably be
More interesting.
because that's probably like the first game.
Yeah, cause how long did they say?
I
It was
don't,
like 30 years or something,
Yeah.
40 years.
because Oil Nam's the one that started it, so
Yeah, so it'll be a younger
Oil Nam.
person and be like, hey, him being all depressed, be like, man, I'm so depressed. And he'll probably get into the world of the VIPs, like, hey, come join this game. I have some entertainment for you, and them recruiting people, and there is going to be some like a lot of mess ups too. It's probably not going to be on the same island. It'll probably be a different island.
But
Good night. So
Allie might want in. Is that okay?
we're almost done in here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had all that set up. Damn.
I don't know if all that's true. But there's the possibility. But
Well, the USA one for sure
Yeah.
is going to go off, but I would be more interested in the 1987. Year one.
but
Year
that
6.
that was our stream for the night and our review of Squid Game.
Yep, I gotta go make some more tea.
We will do this sometime again.